A life cut short, a story that has left an indelible mark on all who hear it. Remembering Sara Sharif, 2015 to 2023, a brief span of years, yet filled with moments that touched many hearts. Sara Sharif, a name that echoes with the profound sadness of a life tragically cut short. Her smile, her innocence, now a haunting memory. Born in 2015, her time in this world spanned a mere 8 years, ending abruptly in the summer of 2023. Those 8 years, though short, were filled with the joys and dreams of a young girl. The circumstances surrounding her death sent shockwaves through the UK, painting a grim picture of alleged abuse and a desperate search for answers. The community, the nation, all were left grappling with the horror of what had transpired. Sara's story is a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities of childhood and the devastating consequences when systems designed to protect fail. It calls into question the effectiveness of those meant to safeguard our children. The details of the case as they slowly unraveled revealed a deeply disturbing reality. Each revelation brought more sorrow, more questions, and a desperate need for justice. Sara's young life, meant for laughter and learning, was instead entangled in a web of domestic turmoil and alleged neglect. Her home, which should have been a sanctuary, became a place of suffering. The very people entrusted with her care, her own family, have come under intense scrutiny, their actions raising more questions than answers. The betrayal of trust is a wound that cuts deep. As investigators piece together the puzzle of Sara's final days, the nation mourns the loss of a young life filled with unrealized potential. The community gathers, holding vigils, lighting candles, and hoping for justice and peace for Sara. Sara's world. A child amidst family struggles, a poignant tale of innocence caught in the crossfire of familial discord. Little is known about Sara's short life, but those who knew her describe a bright and bubbly child, always eager to learn and explore the world around her. She loved her dolls and dreamed of becoming a teacher, her innocence shining through even amidst the challenges she faced at home. Her eyes sparkled with dreams and hopes, a stark contrast to her reality. Behind the facade of a seemingly ordinary family, a darker reality simmered. The walls of their home echoed with arguments and tension. Sara's parents, Irfan Sharif and Olga Sharif, were engaged in a bitter custody battle, each vying for control of their daughter's life. The courtroom became a battleground, with Sara's future hanging in the balance. This constant tug-of-war, fueled by animosity and resentment, cast a long shadow over Sara's childhood. The emotional strain was palpable, leaving scars that were invisible, yet profound. Sources close to the family revealed a history of domestic disputes and interventions by social services. These visits, meant to help, often added to the chaos. The instability and emotional turmoil within the household created a breeding ground for neglect and potential abuse, with Sara caught in the crossfire. Her young heart bore the weight of her parents' conflicts, a silent witness to their battles. The discovery unmasking a tragedy. On August 10th, 2023, a chilling call was made to the police. The call would set off a chain of events that no one could have anticipated. Irfan Sharif, Sara's father, contacted authorities from Pakistan, reporting his daughter's lifeless body at their home in Woking, Surrey. His voice trembled as he described the scene. The news sent shockwaves through the community and beyond, as law enforcement descended upon the quiet residential street. Neighbors watched in disbelief as the once peaceful area became the center of a tragic investigation. Upon arrival, officers made a grim discovery. The scene inside the house was even more harrowing than they had imagined. Sara's small body bore the marks of extensive injuries, painting a horrifying picture of potential violence and abuse. The evidence was overwhelming and deeply disturbing. A post-mortem examination later revealed the extent of her suffering, confirming that her death was no accident. The findings were a stark reminder of the brutality she had endured. The investigation quickly escalated into a murder inquiry, with authorities focusing their attention on the 3 adults who were last known to be with Sara: her father, her stepmother, Bainash Batul, and her uncle, Faisal Malik. The search for answers had only just begun. In a shocking turn of events, Irfan Sharif, Bainash Batul, and Faisal Malik vanished from their Woking home shortly before Sara's body was discovered. Their sudden disappearance, coupled with the circumstances surrounding Sara's death, raised immediate red flags, prompting an international manhunt. It was later revealed that the trio, along with 5 children, had boarded a flight to Islamabad, Pakistan, just hours after Irfan Sharif's call to the police. Their swift exit from the country, particularly with young children in tow, fueled suspicions of their involvement in Sara's death. As pressure mounted from both UK and Pakistani authorities, Irfan Sharif, along with Bainash Batul and Faisal Malik, were eventually located in Pakistan. The tragic death of Sara Sharif is a stark reminder of the failings of our child protection systems. Despite numerous warning signs and previous involvement with social services, Sara was failed by the very people meant to protect her. Her story highlights the urgent need for greater vigilance, better communication between agencies, and a more proactive approach to safeguarding vulnerable children. As the legal proceedings unfold and the search for answers continues, one thing remains clear: justice for Sara must prevail. This is not just about holding those responsible for her death accountable. It's about ensuring that no child ever has to endure the suffering she faced. Sara's legacy must be one of change, a catalyst for a society that prioritizes the safety and well-being of all children. The courtroom was heavy with grief and anger. The details of 10-year-old Sara Sharif's final days, laid bare before the judge, painted a horrific picture of abuse and neglect. Sara's tiny body, discovered lifeless in her Woking home, bore the marks of unimaginable suffering. Bruises covered her small frame, evidence of the violence she endured at the hands of those meant to love and protect her. Her father, Irfan Sharif, admitted to the abuse during the trial. His words, a chilling confession, sent shockwaves through the community and beyond. How could a parent inflict such pain on their own child? The question hung heavy in the air, a stark reminder of the dark reality of child abuse. The judge, visibly shaken, described Sara's injuries as extensive and consistent with deliberate and sustained assaults. The details, too graphic to recount here, served as a grim testament to the brutality Sara endured. Her young life, cut tragically short, became a symbol of the devastating consequences of unchecked abuse. In a heartbreaking twist, the court heard how Sara was forced to wear a hijab to conceal the bruises on her face. This detail, a chilling reminder of the lengths abusers will go to hide their crimes, sent a collective gasp through the courtroom. Sara, denied even the dignity of showing her pain, became a prisoner in her own home. Despite the suffering inflicted upon her, witnesses recalled glimpses of the bright, bubbly child Sara once was. Neighbors spoke of her infectious laugh and her love for animals. Even in her final days, when the weight of her abuse must have been unbearable, Sara managed to summon a smile. This juxtaposition, the innocent joy of a child against the backdrop of horrific abuse, served as a poignant reminder of the resilience of the human spirit. Even in the face of unimaginable cruelty, Sara's light continued to shine. The court heard how she loved school and dreamed of becoming a teacher. These dreams, cruelly snatched away, fueled the public's outrage and determination to seek justice in her name. As the trial unfolded, a disturbing picture began to emerge, one of missed opportunities and systemic failures. Social services and school officials had received reports of suspected abuse, yet no decisive action was taken. Records revealed a pattern of concerning incidents, each one a red flag waving desperately for attention. School reports documented Sara's unexplained absences, her withdrawal from classmates, and the visible bruises she tried to hide. Social workers assigned to assess the family's situation failed to fully investigate the allegations. The system, designed to protect vulnerable children like Sara, had failed her in the most tragic way imaginable. The question on everyone's mind was, how could this happen? How could a young girl living in the heart of our community suffer such horrific abuse under the noses of those entrusted with her care? The answer, uncomfortable and complex, pointed to a system ill-equipped to deal with the complexities of child abuse. Section 4. Voices unheard. Officials and a mother's anguish. In the wake of Sara's death, officials offered condolences and promises of investigations. The head of social services expressed deep sorrow and vowed to review the handling of Sara's case. The Education Secretary pledged to improve communication between schools and child protection agencies. These words, while well-intentioned, rang hollow in the ears of those who loved Sara. Sara's biological mother, her voice thick with grief, spoke of the pain of losing her daughter in such a horrific way. She shared stories of Sara's infectious laugh, her love for drawing, and her dreams of becoming a veterinarian. Her words, a powerful reminder of the human cost of this tragedy, resonated deeply with the public. "She was my everything," she said, her voice cracking with emotion. "I just want to know why. Why wasn't she protected?" Her questions, raw and anguished, cut to the heart of the matter. They demanded accountability, transparency, and a commitment to ensuring that no other child suffers the same fate as Sara. Section 5. Lessons from Tragedy, a call for vigilance and action. Sara's tragic story serves as a stark reminder that child abuse can happen anywhere, to any child, regardless of their background or socioeconomic status. It highlights the urgent need for greater awareness, improved communication between agencies, and a collective responsibility to protect our most vulnerable citizens. The lessons learned from Sara's case must not be in vain. We must work together to create a society where children feel safe, supported, and empowered to speak out against abuse. This requires a multi-pronged approach, one that addresses the root causes of abuse, provides adequate support for families in crisis, and empowers bystanders to take action when they suspect something is wrong. We must invest in early intervention programs that provide families with the tools and resources they need to create safe and loving environments for their children. We must educate ourselves and our communities about the signs of child abuse and neglect, and we must be willing to speak up when we see something that doesn't feel right. Section 6. Be the voice for the voiceless, reporting suspected abuse. Each and every one of us has a role to play in preventing child abuse. If you suspect that a child is being abused or neglected, do not hesitate to report it to the authorities. Your call could be the difference between life and death for a child in need. Remember, you do not need concrete evidence to make a report. If you have a gut feeling that something is wrong, trust your instincts and reach out for help. Your voice, however small it may seem, could be the one that makes all the difference. There are numerous resources available to help you report suspected abuse. You can contact your local child protection agency, the police, or a trusted adult such as a teacher, counselor, or religious leader. You can also find a wealth of information and support online. Section 7. Remembering Sara, a legacy of change. Sara Sharif's life may have been tragically cut short, but her story has the power to ignite a movement for change. Let us honor her memory by working tirelessly to create a world where every child is safe, loved, and protected. Let us vow to be the voice for the voiceless, to speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. Sara's legacy must be one of change. Let us channel our grief and outrage into action, working together to build a brighter future for all children. Only then can we truly say that justice has been served.